I'm Rolling Stone. I was impressed. You actually did a negative review of something woke. Okay,
Yeah, the
never mind.
Acolyte, this Star Wars prequel series isn't a force to be reckoned with, and then they deleted it. And then I can't think of who it was, but somebody else also wrote a review recently, and it was one of these sites, and said that episode 3 was by far the worst episode
Oh yeah, I've heard that from
of Star
everybody.
Wars, whatever. And then they changed the title today to one of the worst. And I was like, was that necessary? Did that somehow soften the blow for Kathleen Kennedy and them? Is that what it was? It's like,
So from
well,
my
it wasn't the
understanding,
worst, but it was one of the worst.
from
It's
my
like,
understanding, a lot of the writers for these organizations aren't very woke. They're just under the boot.
mhm.
So you'll get stuff like this, and then the editors who are extremely woke will swoop in and be like, "No." Editors slash censorship czars.
Well, apparently, to readers adding context here, community notes added again. This was apparently posted before the embargo and was temporarily unpublished. I
Oh,
don't
okay,
know
that
how
makes
true
sense.
that is, but I don't know when the
Well, click
9
on the
a.m.
link.
PS.
It links to it.
Well, yeah, I know it does, but it says the embargo lifted 9 a.m. PST. We can look at it right here, and it was June 4th, 2024. The problem is, like, what time,
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
Like, was this really posted right before the embargo lifted, or what? Because that seems like a really stupid thing if it was like 5 minutes before the embargo
I know.
was lifted, then they took it down, but then somebody was sitting there watching it and refreshing the entire time too to catch a 404 error. I just, I feel like there was a little bit more to it than that. But yeah, I mean, it's here now, so.
It is what it is. I think that's having a pissing contest between under
I
semantics.
feel like it's just semantics, right? At
Yeah.
that point. But anyway, Star Wars The Acolyte audience score gets even worse as Disney and Lucasfilm following in doctoring introduction of lesbian witches.
There you got there. Good for you, Zio.
Well, listen, I'm tired. Star Wars The Acolyte. Rotten Tomatoes. I'm actually curious to know what it's sitting at right now.
Oh,
Oh, fuck.
how bad? I assume that the audience hates it. Yep, exactly.
It's sitting at a 16 certified rotten.
Yep. Because nobody cares about the score on the left because that's fun.
It is meaningless. But let me tell you, how much of Star Wars do you know?
A lot.
Okay, so here's my thought process. I saw the commercials for the Acolyte and was like, oh, cool, this should be fun. They're finally going back in time to tell a story that doesn't exist. What harm could they possibly do to the lore or anything else hundreds of years beforehand? There's not much damage they could do to the series, right? That was my thought process
Oh,
at
you
first.
sweet summer child.
Listen. I have been saying this from day one that instead of fucking up what we currently have, they should have went back in time and told stories about the Sith and the Jedi and stuff like that before we had the Empire, before Darth Vader and Luke and Leia and all that stuff,
Like
because
stories
they
from
could
the Old
do
Republic, so to
practically
speak.
anything with that as long as they don't make any major lore changes, which should be easy to stay away from.
Yeah. Except they can't help themselves.
How wrong was I? So wrong. So, would you like to know what they have done?
Oh, I already know, but tell the audience.
Okay, well, this is what they have done. So, Darth Vader, Anakin Skywalker, is the chosen one. Does anybody know why he's the chosen one? Because he has a Jesus like birth. He was born of the Force and his mother. That was it. No father. High Force, powers, all that stuff. Midichlorians count. Ugh. If you want to. Thanks, George Lucas. Thanks.
Yeah.
Midichlorians fucking sucks. Anyway, point is, they exist. He was high on it. He's to bring balance to the Force, and he does. Right?
Yeah.
Three movies, Darth Vader, Luke and Darth. Then they take out Palpatine. Darth dies, brings balance to the Force through his son. Simple as that, right? That's easy. Now, about 100 years beforehand, guess what? The Chosen One no longer matters because apparently being born of the Force and no father is an easy feat for a bunch of fucking witches, by the way, who are cringe as all get out. Holy listen, they should have called Willow or from Buffy the Vampire Slayer, the original one, or the original Charmed Witches, and had the power of 3, and it would have been a hell of a lot better than what these fucking witches do.
Yeah.
So, not only is the Chosen One now born before the Chosen One, but it's now twins. So they have successfully done a feat that the most powerful of powerful Force users that we know of in canon have been trying to do and failed. The Jedi's couldn't do it. Palpatine couldn't do it. Darth, who was it? Plagueis, I think is who it was. Plagueis couldn't fucking do it.
Plagueis
nobody
came the
could
closest with and one and
do what?
Plagueis probably became the closest to doing it through trying to revive people, but his goals were different.
Yeah, but he was trying to revive people.
Riven,
But
Darth Riven couldn't do it.
So many have tried the idea of creating a force sensitive human so they could essentially mass produce them. And could you imagine the clone army if they had these witches?
Yeah, no kidding.
Yeah, I mean, all they needed was a couple of these witches, and then the clone army would have been just force users. They could have easily done it.
Yeah,
But
and
anyway,
that's where the problem lies. Like, this doesn't make any sense in canonical order of
not only
of what's to come.
did it take the lore and just destroy it. So they've already destroyed Darth Vader's legacy one time by bringing back Palpatine for no discernible fucking reason other than it's Palpatine
Yeah.
in the sequels, which was dumb as fuck. It's like you would have been better off making a completely new Sith to put there in his place, pulling the strings, and then we could have had another 3 movies exploring that aspect, right?
Yeah.
Instead, no, you revived the dead emperor who should have already been dead, whose death helped balance the fucking Force. But anyway, and brought an end to the Sith and yada yada, whatever. And on top of that, you now have them destroying Anakin's legacy from beforehand because now he's irrelevant.
Yeah.
It doesn't matter. He's not the chosen one. These girls are the chosen one, right? These little or these girls that they have wherever they are.
Oh wait, Rough Nut, stop.
There's
by the way,
these twins.
You know how condescending that is? Not only can we make them, but we can make it doubly. We can make 2.
Yeah.
And it's like,
on top of that, the Force isn't the Force, it's the thread now. And when they first introduced the idea of the thread, I thought maybe they were making a play on the thread of fate. Because everything is tied by the thread of fate.
Come on.
And all this other stuff. No, it's just the Force. So you've got these witches who are so backwater ignorant in the Force, apparently, that they don't even know it's called the Force. They call it the thread for some reason, because they're fucking idiots. Yet they can command it to make Force-sensitive children. Okay. Out of thin air. That makes perfect fucking sense. And then the story, the writing is so fucking bad in this thing. So you've got essentially one evil twin, one good twin. This is how I'm going to depict them because that's what they are. You've got the one twin who they've pretty much tried to make turn into a psychopath, like make it seem like she's a psychopath. You got the good one, the one who wants to be a Jedi, right?
Okay.
Well, the other one doesn't. She wants to be a witch with the coven or whatever. And so you've got these two. They're force sensitive children. The Jedi come knocking, right? Like they
Yeah.
always do, and say, "Hey, we've got a test. Would you allow us to test them to see how force sensitive they are?" And then we can go from there. They say yes. They tell the
Which
kids
that
to.
in itself doesn't make sense because the Jedi, if takes place where I think it does, Jedi Order didn't exist.
This was just 100 years or so beforehand. There was a
Oh,
Jedi
okay,
Order.
okay, never mind.
Yeah, there was a Jedi Order.
There is.
The Jedi Order was there for thousands of years. But anyway, so they go, they test them. Their mother or whoever tells them failed to test on purpose because we don't want them to take you away. They agree to do it. Well, the good one passes, right? She gets talked into by what's his name to actually try, right? So she does, she passes. The other one fails the test essentially, and the writing is so bad on this that they wind up getting into a fight where the good one is saying I'm going to go, and then the evil twin is telling her no, you're fucking not, and and the good one goes, well, you can't stop me, and the evil one tells her, yes, I fucking can, by killing you. And it's like, I'm sorry, what? That's where we went. We escalated that real quick.
Yeah.
You just want to kill your sister now. Okay. Goes, locks her in a room, by the way, locks the good one in a room. Lights a book on fire and throws it on the ground. Now, at this point, you probably would expect like a drape or, a curtain to blow in. It catches fire, which then, of course, sets the rest of the structure on fire. And
Yeah,
the wood is
otherwise this is going to
burning
be
and
a
stuff
book
like
burned
that.
in the floor.
Right? That's what you would expect. The problem with that whole scenario is the structure is made of fucking stone. It is one of these in the mountain
Really?
type, out in the middle of nowhere, stone buildings, like that's where they live, is this big stone thing, like ancient Mayan temple type stuff carved in the side of the rock.
And it caught fire somehow next
And
scene.
not only does she throw the book down, it immediately just explodes out. Fire starts engulfing everything. And it's like, it's fucking stone. You don't even give us a believable reason for why it's burning. Like, it would be one thing if she's shown, like, draping, I don't know, engine fluid or something all over the place from, the Jedi starship or something. I don't fucking know at this point.
So I'm going to
and then lighting it on fire and throwing bombs everywhere, so then they ignite and then everything goes boom. You don't even get that. It's just book, fire, boom, explosion, everything's engulfed in flames.
Okay, so I'm going to kind of I think it's called Iron Manning or stone walling.
You try.
Whatever it's called. To be fair, that same argument could be made for the original trilogy when they killed Luke's parents. Well, aunt and uncle or whatever, because they lived in a stone building that was destroyed as well. But where it falls apart is that was destroyed because of the stormtroopers destroying it and killing them.
Yes.
Not a book.
Well, I mean, if they're there and they shoot it and blow it up with grenades and shit, yes,
that's what I'm saying. That's how that worked.
It was a small hut.
Yeah.
Versus an entire citadel, essentially, type structure made of fucking stone.
Yeah. That book would have burned and then fizzled out, and the good twin would have been like, oh okay. No, I'm dead. And then hops out a window.
But anyway, so on top of all that, right? So the place is burning down. One Jedi happens to be still there or whatnot, goes to rescue her, rescues her sister, then loses them both, and then tries to catch them, catches one, the other one falls into a ravine and supposedly dies. But we already know she's not dead because we saw her in the very first episode. And this is a 15-minute flashback, by the way. Half the fucking episode is this flashback to when they are kids. And on top of all that, they go running out, and then all the witches are for some reason dead too. Which, of course, I'm sure is going to be explained later, but because of the way they've been depicting Jedis throughout this entire series in 3 episodes, I'm sure I would not make it a long shot if either A, one of the witches, the one who didn't want them to be Jedis, killed the other witches, or B, they pin it on the Jedi killed the witches to take the girls, which makes no fucking sense, because one was going to go with them, and the other one, well, didn't seem to be force sensitive.
Yeah, that wouldn't make
Right?
any sense.
So they already had what they wanted, so
with.
killing the witches makes no fucking sense at that point, but because they have done very good at making Jedis completely incompetent and dumb and evil, apparently now, it wouldn't surprise me if they have a scene like by the 5th episode or whatnot where it's a flashback to that and dude just slaughters the witches real quick. And then, they show that he purposely dropped the other one, and that's why he couldn't save her. So her quest for revenge against these Jedi is just and righteous, because it's the whole thing. You've got the good twin versus the evil twin. The good twin wants to be a Jedi, who then apparently doesn't make it being a Jedi, right? For some reason is wind up working in some crap job somewhere, which is why when the evil twin starts killing Jedis, they go track down the good one, because that one is the one they know is living, and she matches the description, but she's not even a Jedi at this point.
Yeah, they wouldn't
which is dumb. And I'm just like, what? That makes no fucking sense either. And the first episode, by the way,
what story to tell.
Evil twin kills a Jedi at essentially a bar, right? And this is how it goes down. She goes up, tells her, I'm going to kill you, and Jedi waves her off like she's nothing, essentially, sits there, and then lets all her friends, everybody else in the bar, fight Assassin, and then get their asses handed to them before she gets up to do anything, right? Which one doesn't seem like listen, I know the Jedi can be flawed at times, right?
But they were definitely
point to multiple times where they are flawed at things, but this is not Jedi behavior at all. This is Sith behavior. This is the behavior of like a mob boss who's like, get 'em, boys. And then finally gets up and goes, okay, let me show you how you fuckers do it because you're so pathetic. After they get their asses handed to them, right? That's what bad guys do.
Yeah.
So then she gets up to fight the assassin. The assassin tries to kill the bartender, so she uses the force to stop the knife that's going for the bartender, and then gets stabbed by a fucking knife in the chest right after that. And I'm like, what? You're telling me that a Jedi Master just ups and dies from a 3-inch fucking table knife because it's too busy stopping a knife from going after the other guy? You know they have the ability to push with the force, right?
Yeah, not
and
just
perceive things. It wouldn't be too hard for her to just go whoosh.
Not just that, but then
that knife goes, the other knife goes, and you don't have to worry about it.
Didn't they also, with that, kind of break their own canon that they set last time, where apparently a lightsaber is a Band-Aid wound?
Don't even get me started. Anyway, so first Jedi Master dies to that. Very anticlimactic. Yeah, the only thing the series really has going for it is kind of the fight scenes, except for that part right there. And then the next Jedi Master she goes to kill, by the way, is apparently meditating and has like a force shield around him. And this is how dumb this is. She attacks the shield, can't get through it, so has to leave, right?
Okay.
And at this time, they have the other twin, and she's trying to, I thought maybe this was going to be the other twin running off to clear her name to hunt down her evil twin, was how the story is going to unfold. But apparently, that is not how we're going anymore, because they already know that the good twin didn't do it by episode 2, because they catch the evil twin buying poison and junk and catch her in kind of like a honey trap or whatnot, but then just lets her go on to do whatever. So she buys poison, brings it back to the guy who's floating, who's meditating like Luke did, where he was floating for a second.
Yeah.
Meditating in a force shield, says, essentially it's like, drink this or die. Not that she could kill him if she wanted to. And then dude just releases it, comes down, takes it, and drinks it. She's like, you know what you did, drink it. And then he just does it because he's apparently so guilty for whatever crime he's committed against her, that he felt like that was the only way out. It's just like, I'm sorry, what?
I'd be like, who are you? Go fuck yourself.
He is sitting there meditating, and she couldn't even touch him. You're going to have me expect that his crime was so grievous that he has been waiting there for like the past 16 fucking years or however long it's been, just to get some poison from her to drink it to absolve him of whatever sin he's committed against her.
You know what that was, Theo? That was the writing team ran into a brick wall and couldn't figure out a way to write their way out of that corner. So they just were like, let's just have him drink it of his own volition. Because we got nothing, because we're a shitty writing team.
They're trying their best to make the Jedi seem like bad guys, right? And there's no good or evil part of the Force or anything, but it's bollocks.
Yeah, it's not true.
That's just not how it works at all.
The Sith are evil, the Jedi are good.
If you replaced the Jedi with Sith and made them more competent, like actual Sith and actual Jedi, then maybe it would start to work a bit.
And the thing is, the Sith aren't 100% evil, and the Jedi aren't 100% good. There are gray areas, but by and large, the Sith are villainous. The Jedi are heroic. And the fact that, they play into this weird ass thing. Dude, man, fuck Disney. Oh, fuck George Lucas for selling it to Disney too.
I think he already knows he done fucked up there.
Well, he should have thought about that. Nobody's gonna be able to do it as good as the original person. Whoever thinks I can sell this off and it'll be just as good. No, you're a freaking idiot.
Let's see. I'm trying to look for something. Keep talking.
Okay. Well, actually, I got to give Rough Nighter medicine.
Okay. When you get back, I got something for you to see. Star Wars Acolyte. I just want. I think this is it. Cheeseburger, Big Mac, Big. That's Remix. I'm just finding shorts making fun of it. Damn it.
Tonight we enact.
I'm getting there, I swear.
On a sale.
Maybe.
The power
Oh, there it is. Found it. Found it. Oh my gosh, this is horrible. And while we wait for Chad to come back, apparently, um, Access Medias blames fans for ruining the Star Wars. Again, like I said earlier, our names aren't on the credits, but whatever you say. Shoot. What else? We're not going to be able to get into this. We ain't got the time. This is going to have to be the last one. We'll have to save those other topics for next week. But also, apparently, it would seem that Disney has actually canceled several projects as of recently, as of the publishing of this particular episode, and has canceled several other projects that she was in charge of as well. Apparently, also dismantling a bunch of stuff for the so-called season 2 that apparently had already been greenlit and has been canceled as well. After this episode.
I just got back. You're gonna have to start. What?
Apparently, they have also canceled, from what I heard earlier. So I don't have anything pulled up from it, but they have actually canceled all these projects that they were greenlighting, including a season 2 for the Acolyte. They already canceled it. They lost about 7 million, or not 7 million, but apparently like one of the contracts was about 7 million or 13 million. The director or whatever for the Acolyte was supposed to get gone, and they went and dismantled several of the sets too.
Damn.
Yeah, this has been pretty devastating. But this is what I'm talking about, cringe writing. This is why I said they would have been better off bringing in Willow from the original Buffy the Vampire Slayer to do this shit or something. Yeah, or bringing in the witches from what was that other one? Charmed, the original Charmed series, and using the power of 3 or something would have been better.
Yeah, dude, I saw
but
this.
Look at this cringe.
What retardation am I watching?
Look at this. Like, the dramatic music does not help this at all.
No. This is... Boy, this doesn't make sense. Wait. They're already born.
Yeah, this is the Ascension right? When they become actual essentially you do an ascension to become one of the witches of the coven.
Okay.
Right? So this is what is happening right here is the ascension for that. Before things go really squirrely.
You know what this reminds me of? The idiotic chanting that these like women that believe in tarot cards and shit do.
Listen, I have studied that of the witchcraft and stuff like that, right? And it is this is the I picked up my pack of tarot cards, so now I'm a witch kind of shit.
Yeah.
Like, you can find just a basic book of spells on fucking Amazon, more than likely, that would give you a better fucking incantation than this shit. This is the alpha version of an incantation, where we want to bring in the power of 1, 2, and many, but we got to turn it into an incantation for a chant. And then they just didn't.
So I know somebody that runs a like spiritualist witchcraft shop off of campus here in Ohio, right? You know what he told me? None of like he straight up told me like, dude, none of it's real. All these college girls come here thinking that they're gonna be able to rub on a crystal and get a man, but man, do their parents have money?
Exactly.
So he literally has a shop where he sells like crystals and shit and like books that, like you said, he got off of Amazon.
Yeah.
What he told me, what he does is he gets these books off Amazon, right? And then he actually damages them to make them look older.
Yeah. It's an
And
easy
then we'll
process.
sell them at a outrageous markup and tell people that he got it from India.
No, but it's like the witches against Trump who think they can throw something out to bathe in the moonlight and suddenly going to hex Trump. That's not how any of that works. Even if you get, actual stuff that tells you things, it doesn't work that way.
I mean, hell,
There's a lot more to it.
from somebody who I knew who was Wiccan and did practice witchcraft, she told me that it doesn't work unless the person that is being enchanted or incantation upon believes it. I'm
It
like,
definitely helps to fulfill any issues.
and I'm like, well, here's the problem. If you're going to hex somebody, likely they're calling you a crazy cat lady, and they don't believe your shit. So you're about as productive as an impudent bull.
2, 3. Oh, so we have 3 more stories, but we're not going to get to it tonight.
Yeah,
Just
old
go
man
ahead and say
Zio
it.
here.
I actually have to call this hard at 10.
Okay.
So we'll have to save them for next time. But yeah, Star Wars is officially dead now. It was hanging on by a thread because, the first few seasons of The Mandalorian, Andor was pretty decent, but Ahsoka might have been okay. I never did watch that one, though.
Most people said
to,
Ahsoka was
and I heard it was mediocre at best, I guess.
mediocre, and then it took a nosedive from what I heard.